Hi, I'm Andrew, an entrepreneur and a computer science student,
Hi, I'm Verene, a psychology major student.
and you're now listening to the Ink Thoughts podcast, where we ponder and talk about incongruous thoughts ranging from our daily life to the human mind.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ink Thoughts podcast. So I'm hoping that everyone had a good day today or going to have one. So recently I've been thinking about something, especially like when we are living, me, when I'm living far away from home and at the same time far away from all my my comfort zone and people that I'm comfortable with, my family and all. Yeah. So when you're living in a different place, and especially when you're trying to control all those factors like maybe financial parts or any other like job prospect or anything like this, it makes me started thinking like, well, of course, all of these are very important stuff, but at the same time, is it possible to live live an interesting life as well? Like finding joy in your life, stuff like this. And the reason that I came up with talking about this is that I think a few days ago I came across this phrase which is find joy in the ordinary, which I think it's actually quite important for us to think about this and of course do this as well, because life, I wouldn't say it's like very very long, but at the same time it's not that short as well. And of course we're trying to seek meaning behind it, and try to live a meaningful life, stuff like this. Of course we want to find joy as well. And the ultimate goal might be to find happiness in our life. So how do we actually do this? Because life is not always fun, right? There are things that we must do in order to survive, and there are some other stuff. Maybe you have something, your career or your job is something that you really like and brings you a lot of meaning, but there are some parts or some stuff that you might not particularly enjoy. So for example, me, I'll say I'm actually lucky enough to have found an area that I'm really interested in, which is mental health. So before I came to UK to start to continue, to further study, I was actually working for a year in an NGO that serves refugees' mental health. So I'll say it's actually a job that I like and enjoy. Because those stuff that I'm supposed to do is actually something that I really like it. But I'm totally aware that there are still some parts, maybe let's say like paperwork or something like this, that I might not enjoy that much. But of course I know how important it is to have all those prepared and also to record and have it in the system or something like this. But still I don't really enjoy that much, which is something like I know compared to things that I'm enjoying, of course it's considered a small part. And even until now, like studying the area that is of my interest, still there are certain parts that I might not enjoy that much. For example, I'll say like during my last semester I have a module in cognitive neuropsychiatry. Of course I know part of the reason that I don't really enjoy that much is because it's part of it is my weakness. Those parts related to the brains and all. Sometimes I got confused, or I can easily forget about those terms and all. So that's one of the reasons I don't really enjoy that much. But of course I know it is important for us to look into those areas to further understand mental health in a more holistic approach. I'm aware of all this, but still I know I don't enjoy that much. Yeah. And of course, like when you're living, there's a lot of other stuff, let's say like adulting stuff that you have to work on, like buying groceries or doing the laundry, cooking. Yeah, maybe there are parts that you don't enjoy that much. And also when you're growing up, you might have heavier responsibilities as well. For example, some people might have to take care of the family, and maybe for some other peoples, when they are starting a new family, they have heavier responsibilities. And of course, now that you're a grown up, you have to be responsible of yourself as well. Yeah, all this stuff, when you add them up, it's actually not that fun all the time. But still, we are human beings. We, of course, we want those positive experiences of happiness and joy. Yeah. So but even when we're thinking about some fun stuff, maybe some for some of the people, there might be financial restriction that you're worried about, that stop you from pursuing or continue doing something that you really enjoy. Yeah, I'll say before I came to UK, I have been doing aerial yoga for about 3 years time. Yeah, so it is something that I really enjoy. But of course, I know after I came to UK, not that I no longer enjoy it, just that and I know that there's actually a few centers here in Nottingham city center, but it is quite expensive for me as of now. So yeah, I guess I'll probably continue going up or exploring after I started working. Yeah, because that might give me more I mean it might be slightly easier for me to manage my financial parts after I started working. Yeah, and so, like, as for now, I'll just settle for what I have for now, like, yeah, going to the Pilates classes every Wednesday, which is something I really enjoy doing. Yeah, so when we really think about it, like, how do we actually how do we actually find joy in our life is something not that easy to think about, because sometimes there might be stuff that is stopping you from it, like you're already so stressed about life, you don't really want to think about it. But most of the time, all these negative feelings and all, if you don't really process it or think about it, it will go into a negative cycle. And in the long term, it will actually becomes those like negative automatic thoughts, like whenever those feelings come to you or anything, you just straight away associate it with something more negative. And so it is quite difficult for you not to feel that way if you don't really think about it. Yeah, so recently I've Andrew and I have been joining the park run every Saturday, and from there we're actually meeting quite a few of those new people tours. Yeah, so I quite like this to be one of the way that we can actually find joy in our life, because by meeting other people or meeting new people, it is actually an opportunity for you to exchange your thoughts or different ideas with others. Yeah, sometimes during the process of exchanging this kind of thoughts or ideas, it will get you the opportunity to learn about different people, different way of living, their job, their life, yeah, stuff like this. Yeah, which some of the time it will be something that you never even think about it before, which will give you some other new ideas and stuff like this. Yeah, and it is also a way for you to slowly figure out and discover what kind of life you actually prefer living after listening from all these different people and combining all these ideas and thoughts that you've gotten with your personal experience. Yeah, because everyone is different, and there's actually no one single way that say you have to live a life like this, or else you're living a bad life or something like this. Because at the end of the day, life is yours, and because of all these individual differences, we have different preferences, and we things that we think is good or positive will be very much different from all the others as well. So it is important for you to have the chance to listen to others, get those ideas and all those, and combine it with your personal experience and slowly figure out what actually works for you. Yeah. So another way of finding joy in our life, I'll say, to try out new sports or hobbies. Yeah, because like I said earlier, like there's a lot of stuff that we have to do in life, and some of them is something that we don't particularly enjoy. Yeah, so it is important for us to put in some part that actually could spark sparks your interest, or even just makes it a bit different for you. Yeah, when you have chances to try out different sports or hobbies, just go for it. Like, okay, for example, for me, I think two it should be about 2 months ago that I started bouldering. Yeah, so it's actually Andrew that brought me there. Yeah, I've heard about bouldering since I was in Malaysia, but I've never really tried them out because in the past my friend did ask me if I like to go along or something, but it is quite far from where I was staying, and yeah, and so I was kind of lazy to go and try them out. But now that I'm in the UK, and it is something that Andrew enjoyed a lot as well. So at the beginning, I feel like, yeah, it would be good for me to just try them out and see how it goes. If I enjoy it, I can continue doing it. If no, then yeah, I'll just try it and see how. So after trying out, I feel like, yeah, it's actually something interesting. Like, now that we kind of have a schedule that will go every once every week. Yeah, so whenever I was there, it actually makes me feel a bit different, as in, like, it is something that I'm trying to challenge myself, especially that I'm actually afraid of height. And so whenever I climb up there, looking down, although it's not that high, but still it gives me some sense of fear. Yeah, but slowly over time, I do notice that I'm actually getting slightly better at it, as in, like, I could handle my fear slightly better. And also when I was trying to climb up there, yeah, because of all those, like, challenging way or techniques that you have to slowly learn about, yeah, those actually gives me a different kind of feeling, like, I'm trying to challenge myself. And so I guess there's some dopamine or serotonin working in my brain as well that makes me feel good. Yeah, because of those good feeling that I've gotten, and it makes me feel like, yeah, life is good. Yeah, something like this, like, I also find joy in doing it. Yeah, it makes me feel happy. Yeah, and from there, actually, I've got to meet some new people as well. Yeah, although it's not all the time that you will have the opportunity to have very deep talk with others, but the sense of, like, getting to know people is actually a good thing as well, because you never know, like, at the end of the day, who you will get close to as well. Yeah, so the next thing I'll say, like, try to add something that you like or enjoy into your daily life or your routine. Yeah, for me, I'll say because I quite enjoy Pilates, so nowadays I'll make sure I go to Pilates class weekly. Yeah, so going there, it although it's not like something very difficult or stuff like this, or yeah, it's just a class, and there's actually yeah, I don't think I know anyone from those classes, because it's not like with a group of fixed people. You just book whenever you want. Yeah, and that's limited spaces as well. So most of the time when I was there, yeah, some of the people you might see them before, but some of them they are new and all. Yeah, so I don't really have any friends there, and yeah, and all of us are just there to work out and enjoy Pilates as well. So the process itself makes me feel good as well. So every time when I was there, it is a way for me to de-stress as well. Yeah, and like stretching out. Yeah, trying to do some challenging flow up poses according to instructor. Yeah, so things like this actually makes you enjoy life a bit more. And I remember that a few weeks ago I was reading a book related to morning routines. Yeah, of those successful people. Yeah, a lot of them actually they appreciate their morning routine so much that they don't want to get it disturbed by anybody, because they just want to have that time for themselves, because they're successful people that have very busy schedule. And especially for those that have children, it's even more difficult for them to have time just dedicated to themselves. So morning routine become a very important thing for them. So if, let's say, for us, we don't really have that much of restriction yet, maybe morning routine or night routine or evening routine, anything that you enjoy, or you feel like you'll be able to slow down a bit and listen to yourself, or enjoy the time a bit. Yeah, stuff like this that will actually makes you feel good as well. And perhaps during that process itself, some of the stuff that you're doing will actually bring you joy. For example, some people, they love coffee a lot, or love tea a lot, that they have to make brew coffee or tea in the morning. Yeah, so that process might be something they enjoy a lot. Yeah, and through that process itself, maybe they find joy, and yeah, it is something that they really like. Yeah, so stuff like this, like little things that you really really like, it will actually bring you joy as well. Yeah, so the next thing I'll say is to try to focus yourself into things that you do and enjoy them, and enjoy the process. Yeah, yeah, of course, we all know like things may not be that interesting all the time. Yeah, but if, let's say, we're trying to put ourselves into a different perspective, things maybe they will get slightly more interesting. Like, for example, recently I've been seeing this idea quite a lot. Like, you try to focus yourself and immerse yourself into whatever that you're doing. Yeah, just try to do the best. Yeah, so for me, I do notice that whenever I'm trying to work on my assignment, if, let's say, I have that thought like, I'm actually working towards something that might be able to help people who are in need, it actually motivates me to further motivates me further into doing that task itself, and also make that task more meaningful to me. Yeah, although I know at the end of the day it's just an assignment, it's not something that will go into the real world to help people, but I know throughout the process itself, I'm actually finding ways to produce something. Yeah, so when I'm putting myself into that, when I'm wearing that hat, it actually makes me think in a different way. And so maybe the tasks that are very dull to you will become slightly more meaningful, and also makes you feel happier and becomes more enjoyable for you to finish it. Yeah, so this is something that I find out recently, which I think is very helpful, and I actually enjoy doing it as well, because yeah, those tasks might not be that dull, and it's more bearable at the end of the day. Yeah. So I'll say finding joy in your life doesn't always mean that you have to change everything in your life into something different, and to make sure everything have a highlight or something like this. Yeah, it could just be as easy as incorporating something small into your daily life, into your routine. Maybe okay, I'll say sometimes it's a try and error stage as well. Yeah, we don't really know the so-called something different or something small. It might work very well for us, but we can always change it to something else. Yeah, so try out little thing in your life and try to focus your attention at the present when you're doing that. Yeah, so that you can actually feel more connected to what you're actually trying to incorporate into your life and to experience that positive change. Yeah, so when you're being more mindful and be more present in that moment, fully feel the, let's say, positive changes, or even if it's just some little changes. Yeah, feel how it changed and how you're feeling, and it will lead you in looking at your life from a different perspective as well. Yeah, so this positive cycle will then continue, and then it will brings you, I mean, at the end of the day, it will brings you to unleashing more joy in your life. Yeah, so I guess that's all from me today. Mainly thinking and talking about how we can try to find more joy in our life. Yeah, so if you do have any other ideas that you'd like to share about, feel free to comment below or send us a message on any of our social media. And thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you enjoyed, do share with your friends and family and leave us a review on the Apple Podcast. If you are not using an Apple device, you can leave a review on the Apple Podcast website with a link in the show notes. If you have any feedback or thoughts which you hope that we'll discuss in the future, feel free to email them to us at hello@incthoughts.com, or alternatively, you can send us a private message on our Facebook, Instagram or Twitter with the username of incthoughtspod. Thanks again, and see you all next week. Bye bye.